What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. Today we're going over an updated branded deck list. This deck list is going to be 45 cards, so before we dive into it, like, comment, subscribe, it's kind of my updated list. We are a little bit chunkier now, which is going to help out a lot. All the roads lead you still to branded fusion, which is quite nice. You know, this is kind of the updated version prior to the ban list. So we're diving on in. We're going to start off with a 3 Albaz. This is very mandatory. Pretty much everyone's now on 3. We're also playing the triple Aluber. Very, very shiny. The whole deck is quite nice. Aluber lets you search for all your cards. This card also has a graveyard effect. A lot of people still forget about this, so make sure it comes up. It's also really good against like a Flamberge, being able to negate it permanently, which is kind of cool. Then we have the triple copies of Albion. This is something I have bumped up. I used to play 2 of it, now I play 3. With 45 cards, I find that it definitely comes up a little bit more. Wanting to see it is quite nicer, especially when you up the deck count. And sometimes having 2 of it when you have double high spirits definitely helps. You know, being able to dump can also be nice. It is a Albaz engraver, which is important to note. Double copies of Quem, and then we are still only double copies of Cartesia. So I know a lot of players have now upped the Cartesia count to 3. I still don't think that's really right. I definitely never want to see 2 of it in my hand, and even when I do see 2 of it right now, it's still kind of frustrating me. You know, with the 4 copies of the Spellcasters, it kind of feels like there's enough just on that, but now for the rest of the monsters, we are playing the 1 copy of Tragedy. This is all you need. We're not playing the Allure of Darkness, therefore you don't need multiple. Same reason as the Mercurier, only need 1 of it. The Spriggan's Kit, I have been off this card for so long, but now I'm back on it. With 45, you're supposed to be able to add back. There's some weird times where you actually can add back like a Retribution, which can be nice, and then put it back into the deck. If you just have like another weird extender or you want to summon it out. My lights, for some reason, just died. Okay, well that's fine. We are playing the copy of Lubellion as well. And the Sorenir. And then, of course, we were playing the Gimme Puppet as well, because that card is just absolutely busted. Now, people are talking about, like, oh, what if that, Gimme Puppet gets hit? What if that deck with Brandon still be good? Absolutely. If Gimme Puppet does get hit, it's not going to be end of the world for Brandon. We can change it from our stuff. Same thing if Sanctifier gets hit, the deck will be better. It will still be able to survive. Now moving on to the spells, we are playing the triple copies of Branded Fusion. I know. The card's not a QCR. I have not bought them yet. I actually don't really think that they're that nice. Like, to be honest, I love the ultis and like having a nice swirl on the Branded Fusion. And then QCRs do look nice, just unfortunately not for me. I will probably pick them up, or I pick 1 up at least for my master set. Then we are playing triple copies of Branded Opening. This card is very nice, being able to summon out a copy of Quem or Aluber. It can also be good protection, especially with like a bunch of the new cards coming up. We have Fusion Deployment. This card's absolutely crazy, being able to summon out an Albaz. What's really cool against like the U-Bell deck, which does have a little bit of a struggle, is like, you can use this for a copy of Albaz and then use the effect. But sometimes be forced to kind of like Phantom of U-Bell, which is like a really bad spot. For them, it just like keeps the Albaz on the field, which then can be used for other stuff, which is important to note, like if you have a Cartesia and stuff like that. Then we have the Branded and High Spirits as well, double copies like I mentioned earlier. We are playing triple Albion now, which means this comes up more with the not Sanctifier, but the Sorenir in itself. Also being able to add back is quite nice. It feels like a free discard off Branded Opening. Then we are still on the double copies of Branded in Red and the 1 copy of Branded Lost. So a lot of players are now only playing 1 Branded in Red. I think this card's absolutely crazy, especially like turn 0 if you use it to like dodge an imperm or something like that. Make a random card and then have it for the follow-up. Being able to still set it during the end phase is quite nice. Now for the other power spells, we are playing the triple copies of Forbidden Droplets, double copies of Thrust, double copies of Talents. I guess I'll also throw in the double copies of the Fusion Duplication. So the reason why I'm playing double Fusion Duplication and not triple, this has been a now huge talk in the Branded community. A lot of players are on triple Duplication. So the reason why Duplication is now playing at triple copies is because this card's absolutely bonkers. My theory behind it is it's only good going first. Obviously, it is a really going first card. It helps you set up your copy of Sanctifier as well, being able to save your Branded in Red for a Chimera play. But with 4, the same reason why I'm not playing triple Thrust, I don't need to see Thrust and Duplication at 2. Now, with 2 of these, I can able to search either the copy of the talents or the duplication, whichever one I need, and vice versa. Like having multiple copies, if I open up one of them, I can then search for the other. But having 2 duplications is quite nice as well, because if I have a copy in the hand, I don't have to feel super bad about discarding it if I want to make some weird plays, because I have another one I can set. Same for reason that I'm playing the talents. You know, if I use it, it's fine. If I discard it, and then I still have another copy. If I get hand trapped and I have thrust, I can search it. But there's just different lines like that. It's all personal preference, and for me, that just feels right. Now for the other spells and trap of the deck, we are playing the 1 copy of Foolish Burial, the 1 copy of Call with the Grape, and the 1 copy of Retribution. I will say that I am really quite glad that the Battle Legend Terminal Wrench gave us some of these cards like this as a Ultra. It looks quite nice, and being able to give us a Battle of Legends kind of printing quality just feels amazing. That's it for the 45 card deck. It is quite a thick one. Moving on now to the extra deck. We are still on the double copies of Mirror Jade. Not much has ever changed. We're probably always going to be playing double of this. Double copy of Albion. The 1 copy of Lubellion, and now that beautiful QCR rarity. You know, unfortunately, Albion did not get the same love. Maybe in the Megatins. We are playing the 1 copy of Rinbrum, the 1 copy of Titanic Lad, and then the 1 copy of the Sanctifier. That's kind of it for the, I guess we can also mention the 1 copy of Alvalentis. This is really it for our branded, or our Albaz related fusions. There are quite a bit, you know, people are like, well, you know, being able to dump, do you ever dump this, or do you ever really kind of choose to side it? Now, the reason why I'm choosing to play it in the main deck is because if I'm going first against Tempai, I want to have this in the deck. You know, going post side, it doesn't really give you anything. I'd rather have like a side deck card, like, what's this called? The time card. I'm blanking on its name right now. But the burn one there that lets you take like the life points every time you activate the effect. I'd rather have that post side, because no matter what, like it'll come up in like the 3rd game if we end up getting to it. Well, I'm not going to really make that turn 0 going into game 1, which is like kind of important to note. But like this just helps you able to come up so many times. It's also a Mirror Jade target, so if you want to send it, search for a spell, which can be quite nice. If you're playing Super Poly, you can search for that as well. But actually, you can't search for Poly because it has to be a normal spell. But like you can search for a bunch of stuff if you're playing like Polymerization in the better builds, with like the 60 card stuff when you're playing like the Edge Imp Chain, the better builds, which kind of gets you more access to it. But I really don't find that's really necessary. I do like sending it sometimes to search for a branded fusion after I've already used other stuff. Now for the rest of the fusions, we are playing the double Granganol. This card's still very mandatory at 2. I don't really trust any deck that's not playing 2 of it. We're playing the 1 Quiritus, the 1 Guardian Chimera, the 1 Dragostapelia, as well as the 1 Boa Furious. Another card that I think is very mandatory for the deck is Borreload Furious. This card is able to pop multiple stuff, including the field spell for Tempai, which just makes their deck like so much better into like the matchup. Being able to like cosmic, or not cosmic, but blow this field up. You can also protect it with the copy of Opening, and then being able to like super poly their opponent's board, or being able to just like Mirror Jade them or Dragostapelia them can be quite nice. Including like Guardian Chimera just popping while they have them on the field can be really good. But with that field spell, like it's just so hard to end up beating them, which is why this card is really nice. And then you can obviously protect with Opening, which is just really cool. That's really it for the deck. I can show off the side deck if you guys want to. It is kind of up to personal preference. I'll just take that out right now for you guys. But we are playing the 1 copy of Masquerade. This is going to be your time card that I was talking about. Then we are playing the 1 copy of Shaddoll Dragon. We are playing some of the more bestials. You know, we are playing the Magnamut, Druisworm, and the Baldrake. And then we are also playing the double copies of Dark Ruler No More, the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, the 2 Cosmic Cyclones, the 2 copies of D-Barrier, and then the triple copies of Eclipse. I'm pretty sure this is 15. Yeah, this is 15. I was just making sure because this was not my side deck for the tournament. This is kind of the cards I would be side decking. Now the reason why you play it like this, like you can obviously change up your ratios. You can play like 4 Bestials if you don't want to play and you want to like bump up your Cosmic Cyclones. This is what really I like, you know, being able to go first. You set up your D barriers, going second, you set up your Dark Ruler No Mores. it kind of gives you access to have like 4 copies of that in the deck with the copies of Thrust. But Book of Eclipse is just absolutely insane in this format. I definitely think that people should be definitely giving this more of a shout. It's really good against like a U-Bell minus their linked monsters. It's good against the copies of Snake Eye. And going first, it's also really good against like almost everything else. It definitely hits the Fiend Snuff as well, which I definitely think we should mention. You know, with Bestials being in the, kind of more in the format, the next form, or being more in the next format with info dropping, with U-Bell as well as the Fiendsmith cards. I definitely think that people are going to be playing more of the Bestial, which means that the getting Puppet Lock's not going to be as good. Obviously, if they don't have a Bestial, then you're going to be just winning that turn with the Getting Puppet, but still being able to like play more Bestials in the main deck could definitely be an option. And then Book of Eclipse just gets even better then. Regardless, hope you enjoyed watching the video. I do apologize if the camera kind of got glary at any points. We are working on a new camera for deck profiles. Hope you guys do enjoy watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, see some more content like this. Stay safe. Peace.